The Count of Saint Germain. The orphans of the spirit are our concern, those who, without the thread of contact with deity, remain wedded to an unwholesome environment, those to whom the real purpose of life is never revealed, for the crystallization of their intellectual concepts and the hardness of their hearts, rooted in selfishness, do not open the cosmic doorway to our domain. The uncontrolled, ungoverned use of thought and feeling has brought about all kinds of discord, sickness, and distress. Few, however, believe this and keep going on, continually creating by their ungoverned thought and desire chaos in their worlds, when they could as easily as a breath face about, using their thought constructively with the motive power of divine love, and build for themselves a perfect paradise within the period of 2 years. Many desire to know their life's purpose. Few desire to know that purpose within the context of the will of God. And fewer still are able to let go of the human will fully to be absorbed into the heart of God's will through the sacred science and art of surrender. Those who meditate on God's love, wisdom, and will within day and night create a sacred portal for their life's purpose to be fully outpictured. I say to the students in all sincerity, there is no possible way of attaining a quality or a desired attribute without claiming it. In order for an individual to consciously let go of a thing, he must have something that he feels is stronger to which he can anchor. As students become conscious of this, the confidence and strength will come to them to take the step. When you choose to give vent to uncontrolled energies, to the mouthings of the evil spirits who pronounce their cursings with every other breath, mind you, the breath of the Holy Spirit, you are choosing the way of bondage. And if you choose that way, a muddied path in the swamplands of life, one day you will look up and see the pilgrims spiraling up the mountain on the path of freedom, and you will wish that you too had taken that journey in the sunlight. There are some who have turned their backs on the path of freedom for want of self-discipline, and yet they have determined to enjoy the fruits of freedom. If you would have the reward of the path of freedom, you must understand that there is a process that is called for, a very natural process, like the transformation of the wheat or the kneading of the dough, the cycles of life itself. The essential ingredient is always the individual and his sacred labor. The process is the alchemy of God forming and reforming himself within you. What does it really mean to choose freedom? It means to free the electrons in your body and consciousness to flow with freedom's fire. It means to allow the electron to choose the path of freedom and not to subject that electron to the bondage of a limited consciousness, a limited matrix. It means to free your own self-awareness so that you can be aware of the self as having the potential of the infinite. The student should at all times remember that no matter what their mistakes may have been, God never criticizes nor condemns them, but at every stumble which is made, in that sweet, loving voice says, "Arise, my child, and try again," and keep on trying until at last you have attained the true victory and freedom of your God-given dominion. I am a great believer in only worrying about those things we have control over, and we have no control over this craft. Therefore, we should not worry. Always, when one has been conscious of having made a mistake, his first act should be to call on the law of forgiveness and demand wisdom and strength not to make the same mistake a second time. God is not a religious thing. God is the law of life which is beating your heart and every human being's heart on earth. There is only one thing in this universe that can surround you with limitation, and that is accepting the outer appearance instead of the mighty, active presence of God in you. I live, move, and have my being and all outer expression in the full opulence of God, made manifest every moment. You are an infinite source of universal energy. There is nothing that can deplete you. There is nothing that can take you down. There is nothing that can suck the life out of you, as some would have you believe. Nothing. You are a universal source of energy, and as you learn about the Akin and its connection to the Akinet, you will discover that this source of abundance will continue to grow from within. There is no devil in the universe except man's own inharmonious thoughts and feelings, both individual and in mass. In the New Age, all healing will take place through the awakening of consciousness. In this third millennium, it is the individuals who let go of the historical patterns and bring the light of understanding and wisdom to their paths who will return to consciousness and eternal oneness. Remember, blessed children of men, that the purpose of the real science should be to increase the happiness and to free the race from every external condition that would not be beneficial for the elation of man to the pristine greatness of his original cosmic destiny. A light heart is a magnet for all that you love. If you focus on the sweeter things of life, that's exactly what you're going to get out of life. Anxiety must go. It must be replaced by faith and solemn confidence in the outworking of the divine plan. Attention is key, for where man's attention goes, there goes his energy, and he himself can only follow. When you go to bed tonight and lay your head on your pillow, go deep inside and find the light that is there. Dwell in that profound peace. There you shall find all of heaven. All outer form and its attendant expression is but the experienced life by which each individual may learn, through his own experiences, the true source of his being, and come again into the fullness of perfection through the self-conscious knowing thus attained. The outer experience of life is but a constant changing, passing picture that the outer mind has created in its pretense of being the real actor. Thus is the attention so constantly fixed upon the outer, which alone contains imperfection, that the children of God have forgotten their own divinity and must come back to it again.